Let's see if anybody shows up.
Okay. So do you think the same people will notice? Will come back?
Yeah, hopefully. Hi guys, sorry.
We're just gonna wait a few seconds before we get back into our storytelling. Hopefully, people can
join back.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's pretty good. Okay.
Hey, yeah. So Elasi, I don't know what happened. The scope just stopped working. So anyway, it has its own mind, right?
Apparently, technology can be unreliable sometimes. Okay.
What you gonna do?
So,
Anyways,
so where were we?
I just wanted to welcome everybody who's here. Hi guys, my name is Nav and this is Ryan, my husband. We're doing our first couple scope. We're talking about our love story, and if you wanna stay tuned and hear how everything went. We're gonna be starting a series for those of you who are just joining in as a couple scope, talking about everything about relationships, spirituality, how to have a good relationship. By no means are we experts, but we just wanted to share what we've learned and pay it forward.
Because we've learned so much, we thought Periscope would be a fun way to kind of tell stories and little nuggets of wisdom that we've learned, rather than having to retell it to every single friend that asks.
Yeah.
We can just kind of put it up like this. So we thought that'd be an efficient way.
So we've already talked about where we met. We met in school. Where was our first date? It wasn't a date per se. We just
got lost, got hungry, and had supper together.
And it was a fun date. So we're calling that our first date.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan, next question.
So the next question is, where was our first kiss and how was it? Our first kiss was at the legislature building in Edmonton. It was. It was really close to the college that we were at, so rather than taking the train, we kind of kept walking and found ourselves at the legislature grounds. A lot of flowers and beauty there in the summertime.
It was so beautiful, you guys. And I have to tell this story, the girl version, okay? So that was the guy version. The girl version is, we went there and Ryan asked me to dance with him. So
because I'm romantic.
Yeah, he's pretty romantic. And he asked me to dance with him, and so the only music I had on me was Bollywood, which is in East Indian language. Ryan doesn't understand it, but he's so nice. He's like, yeah, let's dance. So I put one headphones in my ear and one in his, and we started dancing.
Did a little slow dance together.
Yeah, and it was like out in public.
There's no one around though. It wasn't that public.
It was public. Everybody. there were people around.
All the trees were watching.
Anyway, so he asked me to. So while we were dancing, I'm thinking in my mind, oh my God, he's gonna kiss me afterwards, and I'm like so nervous because I was just like, I don't know,
You'd never been kissed.
Never been kissed before. No. I don't know what to do. And here he is expecting a kiss, right? Like something amazing. And I am like freaking out. I was like not enjoying the dance at all.
This molehill is a mountain.
Yeah. And then after the song was done, it was like so awkward. And like you just leaned in and kissed. And I was just like, that's it? Okay, I guess I was scared for nothing.
Yeah. No, it worked out good, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I agree that was our first kiss. How was it? It was short and sweet, but climactic for you, I suppose.
I had post-traumatic stress after that.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so Ryan.
So next question 4 is, how did you know I was the one?
How did I know you were the one?
Yeah.
I just knew... Like so we started dating after, hi, welcome back from New Delhi.
Mm-hmm.
How did I know you were the one? When we were friends for the first year, I saw a lot of qualities in him that I was looking in a life partner. And some of them are like how you really care, like you're such a gentleman, and I had like never seen that in my culture, like the guys from my culture, so it was just so new to be treated like a queen pretty much, and
equal.
Yeah, and an equal, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it was just so different. I was just so mesmerized by hold on to each other. Thank you so much.
There we go.
There we go. It's been 10 years, so going strong still. It was your characteristics. You were so patient and, listening, because I talk a lot, so he used to listen. Yeah. And we were just very like, we would have a lot of fun together because even though we come from different cultures, we have a lot of similar values. That's when I knew that he was the one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I knew that you were the one it didn't strike me immediately, but I think just like over the early years of our dating, it really kind of grew on me that you were the one because of the compatibility of our values and our kind of outlook at the world. Even though that we had so many kind of mix-ups and misunderstandings about things just for...
We need to make a scope about that.
Yeah, just because of like language reasons. I mean, your English was good, but
not that
but you weren't
great.
born here, right? So like at the time, you'd only been here a few years. And
Yeah, I'd only been in Canada for 3 years at that
so
point.
we misunderstood everything all the
Hello
time,
from
basically.
Paris. Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining our scope.
Yeah.
We're talking about our love story.
So yeah, I think it just came down to the compatibility of values and our willingness to kind of compromise and meet in middle ground on things that we disagreed on. I mean, you can disagree about all sorts of things with your partner, but I mean, if you're both willing to compromise, you can make it work. So.
I'm so glad Ryan's joining. Hi, Ryan. This is Ryan too, and
I'm Ryan too.
I'm friends with your wife on Periscope.
Yeah. So Nav, what was your first impression of me?
Oh my god, this is a good question. First impression, you were really annoying. You guys, we were in classes together, and this is my first impression, right? So, in math class, I talked to you the first time, but in this economics class, teacher would ask a question, and he was always the first one to answer, and I was like, what?
I know.
I was like, what an annoying guy. Like, there's other students in class too, you know? Like, he's just like the only one putting his hand up and always answering. I mean, granted, I didn't know answer, but I was just like give other people space. Listen. So your first impression of me wasn't that great. So, anyway.
For the record, no one else was putting their hand up, so I answered all the questions. Yeah, I'm good at economics. That's what I studied. No big deal. But what was my first impression of you? You were very shy, very timid, but also very, very likable in the sense that you didn't have a big ego or anything like that. It was very easy. It was very easy to talk to. Yeah. I think like we had just an authentic friendship in the first year, and it was just because it was so easy to talk with you.
Aww.
Right? You're very unassuming.
I'm blushing, even though you can't tell because of my tan skin.
Yeah.
Can you tell?
So what's the next question, Nev?
Next question. Where was our first road trip?
Oh, I would say it would be the secret road trip while dating to the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, so we
Or no, was it to Vancouver?
No. That was second secret trip.
Yeah, the first secret trip was to Jasper. We went from Edmonton to Jasper. It was like a full day, half a day drive.
So they're asking which state?
The Canadian state of Alberta. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it West Bengal? No, West Bengal is in India.
We are in
Canada. We're not in India.
Yeah.
So that's why they're confused.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was our first road trip. You didn't tell your parents?
It was a secret one. So I just want to say, so we dated for 7 years before getting married.
Yep. You got married 3 years ago.
Oh, they meant where am I from originally? I'm originally from India. I grew up in Punjab, in North India. And Ryan grew up in...
Edmonton, Canada.
The current city that we're in.
Yeah.
Hey, Lassie, welcome back.
Yeah.
So yeah, our first road trip was a secret one because I decided not to tell my parents because I didn't know where we were going to go with this. Yeah. I had no idea where it was heading, so I didn't want to tell my parents. My parents didn't want me to date, let alone date a white guy. So I was really scared. So our first road trip was we went with another friend at the time who was visiting Canada from Switzerland, and she wanted to see the Rocky Mountains, and I'd never been there myself. So that was our first road trip. Yeah,
so I mean it was safe. You basically had an escort, but your parents knew nothing about the trip, so it was legit.
It was just a friends trip, you know?
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun.
So next question was, what was the first thing you noticed about me?
How smart you are, but annoying at the same time. Because you're so smart.
Yeah, this question's kind of like my first impression. The first thing I noticed about you was that you're kind and unassuming. And
Elas is asking, why don't they like white men? Elasi, it's not that they don't like white men. They're just afraid of the differences in the culture. Like
Yeah.
East Indian culture is very... Like, we assume the worst, right? When we think about other people's culture. Like, East Indian culture, you're very close to family. Family, grandparents, parents are like priority. And so, in white culture, all you see is the trash in the movies and TVs, and it's the worst.
I think it's also useful to add some context that when Nav's family had immigrated here, they didn't know a lot of other white families. Like, they basically just kind of hung out with other Indian families in the city. So basically the only thing that your family would, and I think I'm speaking correctly when I say this, is that they didn't really know accurately what a lot of white families and what their values were actually like. You just hear a lot of trash talk, and it's all basically everyone's just divorced and having babies out of wedlock, and and so in that kind of context, Nav couldn't really just go up to him and be like, "Hey, I'm going to date a white guy." Thumbs up.
How about that, Dad? No.
Like, in that kind of context, it just wasn't really a good thing to do. But but eventually, I grew on him.
Yeah, we'll get into that, how we got married scope.
Yeah.
That would be a really fun one to do too. So let's get into next question.
Okay.
Who said I love you first and where? I think I said I love you first.
Yeah, you were very...
Because you just wouldn't say it. You were doing everything
I'm very much a person of the mindset that if I'm going to say something, I'm going to mean it, and I'm not just going to kind of like throw it out there meaninglessly. So if I'm going to say I love you, like, I need to like mean it and not just try to, like, make you happy or impress you in the moment, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
So it took me like maybe like a year longer than it took you. Like from like it was maybe in the first couple of years or something.
Oh, okay. So I remember like. Oh, we need to plug my. I remember.
Okay, I'll be back.
I remember we needed to just take the USB. So we were just coming back from school, and I remember having this thought in my head that if like something was.
Sorry.
Sorry, we just have to plug our phone in.